Our Republican challenger is Mike Brasovan, who joins us. Welcome, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mark. How about yourself?
You are doing well. Let's talk about how. It's funny, I get emails from every campaign, and a lot of them are about endorsements. And it's funny because there's a truth in life that anybody can find somebody to endorse them. It's a matter of whom do you get. You most recently have snagged Texas Alliance for Life, and my friend Michael Quinn Sullivan at Texans for Fiscal Responsibility, a big fixture in the Tea Party movement. So tell me about those, because I know you're proud of them.
Well, we've gotten those. And
the Minuteman PAC, too.
Yeah, Minuteman PAC. We've also gotten Texas Right to Life, as well as Kelly Shackelford from what was formerly called the Free Market Foundation. It's now called Liberty Legal Institute.
Uh-huh.
So those are all just men that have been very involved in conservatism in Texas, and we're really proud to have them endorsing us and on our team. I think it speaks well of the conservatism that we're fighting for.
Now, Texas, okay, Michael Quinn Sullivan is very much about cutting taxes, cutting spending.
Yep.
Texas Alliance for Life is certainly about the abortion issue, where Kay is in an interesting position that a lot of Republicans find themselves in, willing to vote for certain abortion restrictions, but not beating the drum for the overturning of Roe v. Wade and stuff like that. Is that an area where you seek to gain advantage?
Certainly. When you go on YouTube and you search Kay Granger pro-choice, you get a video of her very clearly stating, that she's a pro-choice Republican in her words. And, it seems like she's advocating for abortion on demand. That's something between, something that the government shouldn't have anything to do with. I disagree with that. I think with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness being the foundations of our Declaration of Independence, we need to protect life. That's where I think we do need to be involved.
Now, obviously, borders are a big deal. You got the endorsement of the Minuteman PAC. The Minuteman founder, Jim Gilchrist, is doing a thing for Kay, I think, in a couple of days. So are we just sort of seeing whom we can get from the strong borders communities and duke it out there?
Well, we were endorsed by the Minuteman PAC months ago based on our the immigration plan that we put up on our website quite some time ago. It's interesting that now Kay is, after 13 years in Congress, decided to join groups like the Republican Study Committee and the Immigration Reform Caucus. It seems like she's certainly trying to look more like a conservative. I think that's somewhat disingenuous for her to do that, and I've been surprised by it.
What do you perceive on immigration? What have you noticed as the differences between the two of you?
Well, I think the biggest difference is that I'm willing to put a plan out there and to fight for it. I think that's really the biggest theme of all in my campaign is, we're fighting to get someone to Washington that will stand up and lead, that's willing to step out front and get shot at, while pushing for conservative reforms on issues that should have been dealt with 10, 15 years ago. Things like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, immigration reform. All of these things have been issued during Kay's tenure, and she has not stepped forward and led on those. And really, none of the Republicans have stepped forward and led on them the way they should have. And I think that's why we lost in 2006, and I think that's why we lost in 2008. We haven't been willing to lead from our conservative principles.
A couple minutes left with Mike Brasovan, Republican running in District 12. This has been an interesting year of people sort of rising up that we never heard of before, and then we hear of them, and then we hear more about them, and then they wind up seeing how much they can do in going after people with a lot more resume and a lot more dollars. How's that going? How's the fundraising going? And do you have just like a ton of campaign commercials ready to roll in the next 11 days?
Well, we do have some campaign commercials ready to roll, and we're hoping to get those out soon. We could certainly use some more money to get those out on the airwaves. As you know, as a challenger, the money doesn't flow your way. So we have been raising money from individuals and individuals only. By the blessing of God, we've been able to supply our needs and get the word out there effectively for almost 7 months now that we've been campaigning. So we're proud of that, and we're excited about that. We could certainly use some more donations, though, to get the word out on the radio. I'd love to be advertising on your station, but that costs a chunk of money.
Sorry, I know. it's guilty. And now
That's okay.
It's nothing but a good thing.
It's called the free market. We like that.
You got that right. Now, if there is a Mike Brasovan, Brasovan.com, but you had a shorthand that you had done last time. What is that?
Mike, the number 4tx.com.
There you go, Mike.
If people just try to, type in MikeBrasovan.com, if you get close, Google will find me.
Exactly right. There are not a lot of guys who are off by a letter or two. Mike,
right.
the number 4tx, Mike, the number 4tx.com, or just his actual name, Mike Brasovan, Brasovan.com. Mike, thank you, and I know we'll talk again between now and the big day, and just best of luck to you, and thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mark. Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I heard recently that Kay said that she would meet the challenger, the other challenger, and I in a debate, and I would just like to publicly challenge her to follow through with that. There have been several groups that have tried to get her to face us in a forum, and she's declined thus far.
Well, can I, if you're going to bring that up, can I mention something? Is any of who? Because if there's like a county Republican party that wants to do it. I mean, I think that's fine. I love debates, and I think that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. I wound up talking to some folks. Like a guy woke up one morning and said, hey, I think I'll call all three of them and see if I can get all three of them to show up. And I think it was basically a trap, that it's like, well, Kay said she wouldn't show up. And God bless you guys, you'll show up for anything, because that's what challengers do. So that's fine as far as it goes. But between now and then, the best bet for success on that, because one of two things will happen. Either she'll show up and you'll get the debate, or she won't, and you can say, hey, she should have shown up. The more sturdy, the more well-heeled, the more familiar and respectable the sponsoring organization is, the better foundation you have for making the debate point. Because just as a voter and as a talk show guy, I'd love to see one.
Sure. Well, any chance that WBAP will sponsor an event like that?
Well, because the thing about stations doing it is, number one, what do? We get all of you in here, and I'll tell you what, it's not a decision I would make.
Maybe we could do it on the radio.
If we, I'm a huge fan of doing it on the radio, obviously. The best ones, though, I think for attendance reasons, and God bless commercials, as we've just said, but it's nice to be able to actually get through an hour and have it fill more than 33 minutes, is to have it happen somewhere where people can actually show up and go after work.
Sure.
Some evening. But listen, I'll run up the flagpole around here. I'll do anything. I don't care. I like good radio, and I like interesting politics, and I'm having a very interesting time with this race.
Good.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it a lot. You bet. Take care. 214-787-1820. In all seriousness, very seriously. I mean, I guess. I mean, I certainly would have no quarrel with trying to throw that together. Does that open the floodgates? What other races do we need to do? Maybe a lot. I don't know. I'm not averse to it. We've done it before.